Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Kessler with Kessler Insurance. On behalf of Cheers for Charity New Hampshire, I am so excited to be here. I'm here with my fantastic friend, Joanne Burchuk. Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'm Joanne from Lighthouse Physical Therapy, and we're super excited today. We have the Seacoast rep with us today, and who hasn't heard about the Seacoast rep, right? We love the Seacoast rep. So we have Ben and Brandon, but for anyone who hasn't heard or doesn't know all the things you guys are doing, please introduce yourself, tell us what you got going on there, and how we can all help you move forward.
Yeah,
Great.
this is Ben Hart,
Hello.
Artistic Director. I am Brandon James. We are co-artistic directors here at the Rep. The Rep has been around for almost 40 years here in the Seacoast. We are a year-round professional regional production house. We put on over 350 performances a year. We see over 100,000 people through our doors on any given year. We have
In a normal year.
In a normal year, of course, yeah. We have, in addition to our main stage, we serve the community through a variety of different ways. We have a few auxiliary series. We have our senior repertory theater, which is theater made by senior citizens, which is an absolute hoot. We have our Portsmouth Academy of Performing Arts, which has been around longer than the theater has, and that's our educational department. We have classes and we put on productions with the youths. We also have our Red Light series, which is our adult alternative programming, our drag shows, and our Keeping Portsmouth Weird, our Madhouse, things like that. And then we have our new series, which is the Soul series, which is a series that spotlights voices of diversity and marginalized groups of people, Black, Indigenous, people of color. So we have a lot of stuff that we do here at the Rep.
Indeed. And in this past year, we have, because of the pandemic, we switched for a large portion of the year, we had to switch entirely to live streaming. And now we're open to very limited audiences with a slew of safety procedures and COVID procedures. But we're still also live streaming. So we've been live streaming into senior citizen homes. We were, during the middle of the pandemic, we were live streaming for free to frontline workers, which we still offer. So we've been able to continue to make art throughout the pandemic. And this year in 2021, we're calling our season 2021 Recover. And that's not just for the financial recovery of the theater and of the whole US economy, but also our emotional and spiritual and mental recovery as a community and as a people on this planet. We really believe that mental health during the pandemic is something that's been a little swept under the rug, and arts really have a place in helping people's mental health. We see ourselves as, in one sense, sort of frontline mental health workers, giving a sense of normalcy, letting people share in the cathartic experience of theater. It's very healing, and we've had a lot of stories of people who have felt very healed and felt to be in a better mental state because of the art we produced through the pandemic. So that's another thing we're doing this year, is really promoting art as something that is healing and that should be considered essential and kept alive in the time that's been so hard for the entertainment industry across the board.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Who wouldn't like to get out to the theater? And every show I've seen there has been fantastic. You guys do such a great job. What do we have to look forward to this year? Tell us some of your highlights.
Well, we're in a really exciting time right now at the Rep. When our mission is to enrich the culture and the community of the Seacoast through the shared experience of live theater. But when the pandemic hit, unlike literally, without hyperbole, the entirety of the rest of our industry was decimated and shut down, and we did not shut down. We stayed open. We pivoted the business model to our live stream. And what that has done for the Rep, it has changed our mission in a way, because now not only are we serving the Seacoast community, but our demographic and our reach has spanned the globe. I mean, in this last year, with our live streams and our 24-hour radio station that we had in the middle of the pandemic, we've been able to reach the entire globe. We were featured in the New York Times, in Time Out, on NBC. So this little, scrappy little Seacoast theater has stepped up to the adults table, as it were, in the nation. And the Rep is emerging as leaders in this industry on how theater can be produced in a safe and responsible way in these times. Whether it's with our in-house policies and procedures, we have immense policies and procedures that have been applauded by the Attorney General. We've been on governor's task forces to help develop reopening plans. The reps policies and procedures on COVID and producing theater in these times are being used by theaters all across the nation. Every week we're getting calls from other theater companies being consulted. How can we do what you guys are doing? So I think one of the first things that we want to tell people about where we're at this year and what you can expect from the rep is that it is, nothing of course is zero risk. Nothing of course is, but we are, as things go, we feel that we are, as safe as you can get to see live theater right now. But if you're not feeling comfortable enough yet, or you haven't gotten the vaccine, or you're not quite ready to come back to our socially distanced live in-house audiences, most of our season is being live streamed. So we have some blockbuster titles like Godspell and Jekyll and Hyde and Peter Pan and Pippin. And all of these titles are being live streamed. So you can watch them from the comfort of your home, or you can come in and see tested, sanitized, socially distanced theater here in your community.
Wow. I'm blown away by all the options that you have, all the constituencies that you guys serve, the quality of the productions and opportunities that you produce for, as you describe, as a, could be considered a little local theater, right? But you guys go big. You guys,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. Oh my gosh.
How are your other programs also able to pivot? I know you guys do a lot of education and work with teens and other things. Have you been able to also continue to work with those groups?
Yeah, so our senior rep is on hiatus right now because those folks, of course, are largely the highest risk category of our demographic. So that program is a little on hold right now. But the educational wing, the pop-up program has been going great, and they follow all of the same safety protocols that we have. So every student, every instructor is tested weekly. We've partnered with a lab that provides rapid testing that we have in-house. So we, all of our students are tested. Everyone wears masks. They're distanced in classes. They each have a, taped off little footprint on the floor in the studios. And, we ran summer camps last summer outside, and we have dozens of hours of classes a week. And knock on wood, so far, we've not had a case of COVID coming through the building or our classes. We've kept everyone safe and educated and entertained. And
that's great.
In the pop-up program, especially, so many school musicals and theater programs were totally shut down. So it meant so much to our youth to have a place to be able to continue to make theater.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys have been doing a lot of renovation in your theater over the years too. How's that all coming along?
Yeah, so right before the pandemic hit, we had launched a very large capital campaign. Our lobby was designed by JSA architects back in the 70s. And through the years, it's become a bit run down. It rains on the inside when it rains on the outside. And, it's icicles in the winter and it's sweltering in the summer, and the floor was coming up. So we were incredibly blessed that the community came together and we met our goals. And right as the pandemic hit, so while we were shut down for a while, we did a lot of lobby renovations. The floor is new. We have a new box office. The bathrooms have been expanded and completely redone. We have a few more phases left of that, of the capital campaign, some more fire code things. We're putting on a new roof. And those things are happening in the later half of this year.
Amazing. I don't want to step on your toes, Joanne.
No, go ahead. You.
Oh, actually, I lost my question. You can go first. I'll think a second. They'll come back to me.
Okay. So talk about what your needs are right now. What would you like from the community? How can we help you continue to grow?
So right now we're actually in the middle of a fundraiser because we're expecting another round of government funding through the last major bill that was passed. There's the shuttered venues grants that are coming out, and we're expecting to qualify and get quite a bit of funding from that. But until that comes through, we actually have a very large financial gap we need to fill, and they have not opened the applications for these grants yet, and we don't know what those timelines are going to look like. So we are in the middle of a very large fundraiser, because once we get to that grant, and as we of course, we don't really know what's going to happen, but it looks like, we're heading to the other side of the pandemic. So if everything continues on the general trajectory it's going, we are on a fabulous path, but we just have this hole we need to fill. So we have our Bridge the Gap fundraiser, where we need to raise $200,000 total to stay open. And we've had an anonymous donor that is putting up matching donations for donations that come in. And we've already raised quite a bit of money, but we're just in this position right now where we need to just get to this grant, and then we will be very set, I think. And this theater will be around for years to come. But right now, we definitely could use support and donations so that we can get to the other side for when these grants come in.
It's not, we're being very optimistic in what we're sharing about how great the rep is doing and where we're heading and stuff. But the reality is, I mean, in a normal year, we have a 235 seat theater. And much like, most of the theaters and performance art venues in town, running that at under 50% does not pay the bills. And right now we're operating at less than 30% of our house in order to keep people safe and socially distanced while they're in the theater. So, right now we're operating at a fraction of what we're able to survive on. And so we're asking the community to help us fill those gaps that are left because of our small audience sizes right now.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful though that you've kept the doors open. You continue to provide these both the escape and of the entertainment side and the sense of normalcy, and also the resource for the people who need the arts too as their sense of expression, that need it, especially like as you said, they need to recover. It's been a difficult journey in so many ways. So I'm so grateful that you are able to find your creative, using your artistic and creative skills to keep plodding forward, keep going step by step, because it makes a big difference. And I think the other thing that people don't realize is the impact that the arts have on the greater community, the local businesses, the restaurants, the hotels. The quality of the downtown is directly impacted by the quality of the arts, and the fact that the Seacoast Rep makes a substantial impact in the by providing that cultural center for Portsmouth. It really changes the value of the Seacoast. I live in Portsmouth, but my home's worth more because there's such a fantastic destination in Portsmouth, and the Seacoast Rep's definitely part of that.
Absolutely. There was a study done just a year or two before the pandemic, and I forget the exact statistics, but they did a dollar for dollar comparison of what one audience member who comes in to see a show here, what they're contributing to the entirety of the local economy. And it's incredible. It's, people come to see shows, but they're also going to eat at a restaurant, and they're going to walk around downtown, and they're going to go into that boutique, and they're going to buy an item or a scarf or a dress, and then they're going to, buy a rock or a stone. And, it's a whole night. It's not just, so it absolutely, we are all, part of a very intricately woven fabric in this community here. And we all very heavily rely on each other to provide what is wonderful about Portsmouth. It's a cultural gem in this whole region and in the state.
Absolutely. I'm kind of celebrity stuck. Like I think it's awesome. So I'd just love to make sure that we are connecting people with you all. So what's the best way for people to learn all about the rep?
Our website is seacoastrep.org, and we have links for tickets, and we have our COVID policies and procedures. We have links to information for all of our auxiliary series, and also ways that you can donate and help, and that's seacoastrep.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was really great to talk with you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for everything you do for all of these organizations. Yeah. It's so wonderful.
We're having a blast, so our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.